princely one came forth from the house, and Leal, the princely one, came forth from the house. The princely one came forth royally from the house, and Leal lifted his gaze over all the lands, and the lands raised themselves to Enlil. The four corners of heaven became green for Enlil like a garden. Kesh was positioned there for him with head uplifted. And as Kesh lifted its head among all the lands, Enlil spoke the praises of Kesh. Nisaba was its decision-maker. With its words, she wove it intricately like a net. Written on tablets, it was held in her hands. House, platform of the land, important, fierce bull. House Kesh, platform of the land, important, fierce bull. Growing as high as the hills, embracing the heavens, growing as high as Akur, lifting its head among the mountains, rooted in the Abzu, verdant like the mountains. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Ashki? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The first house, good house, built in a good location, House Kesh, built in a good location, floating in the heavens like a princely barge, like a holy barge furnished. The gate, like the boat of heaven, the platform of all the lands. From the river bank, like a boat cabin, house roaring like an ox, bellowing loudly like a breed bull. House in whose interior is the power of the land and behind which is the life of Sumer. House, great enclosure, reaching to the heavens, great, true house reaching to the heavens. House, great crown reaching to the heavens. House, rainbow reaching to the heavens. House whose platform extends to the midst of the heavens, whose foundations are fixed in the Abzu, whose shade covers all lands. House founded by An, praised by Enlil, given an oracle by Mother Nintud. House Kesh, green in its fruit. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Ashki? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The second house. House, 10 card its upper end, 5 card its lower end. House, 10 boar at its upper end, 5 boar at its lower end. House, at its upper end a bison, at its lower end a stag. House, at its upper end a wild sheep, at its lower end a deer. House, at its upper end a dappled wild sheep, at its lower end a beautiful deer. House, at its upper end green like a viper, at its lower end floating on the water like a pelican. House, at its upper end rising like the sun, at its lower end spreading like the moonlight. House, at its upper end a warrior mace, at its lower end a battle axe. House, at its upper end a mountain, at its lower end a spring. House, at its upper end threefold indeed. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Ashki? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The third house. It is indeed a city. It is indeed a city. Who knows its interior? The house Kesh is indeed a city. Who knows its interior? The heroes make their way straight into its interior and perform its oracle rites perfectly. frisking cattle are gathered at the house in herds. The house consumes many cattle. The house consumes many sheep. Those who sit on daises bow their necks before it. It wears a crown to vie with the boxwood tree. It spreads out to vie with the poplar. It is as green as the hills. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Ashki? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The fourth house. House given birth by a lion, whose interior the hero has embellished. House Kesh, given birth by a lion, whose interior the hero has embellished. The heroes make their way straight into its interior. Ninur Saga sits within like a great dragon. Nintud, the great mother, assists at births there. Kulpaed, the ruler, acts as lord. Ashki, the hero, consumes the contents of the vessels. Uramak, the great herald of the plains, dwells there too. Stags are gathered at the house in herds. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Ashki? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The fifth house. House, positioned over its foundations like a storm, like white bulls standing about on the plain. House, founded by the prince in praise on the tiki instrument. House in whose interior is the power of the land, and behind which is the life of Sumer. At whose gate is a lion reclining on its paws. At whose gate is the ruler who decides cases. House, at whose door is the great mountain without adversary. At whose bolt is a great, frisking wild bull. Whose terrace is supported by Lahama deities. Whose princely wall the shrine of the rim. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Ashki? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The sixth house. The holy house is the shrine. The holy house Kesh is the shrine. The house whose lords are the Anuna gods, whose Nuek priests are sacrificers of Eana. In the house, the king places stone bulls in position. The god and priest holds the lead rope dangling. The Atu priests hold the staff. Brings the waters. Takes his seat in the holy place. The Enkum priest bowed down. The Pashesh priests beat the drumskins. They recite powerfully, powerfully. The bull's horn is made to growl. The drumsticks are made to thud. The singer cries out. The house is built. Its nobility is good. The house Kesh is built. Its nobility is good. Its lady has taken a seat in her Saja. Its lady has taken her seat in its. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Ashki? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The seventh house. Draw near, man, to the city, but do not draw near. Draw near, man, to the house Kesh, to the city, but do not draw near. Draw near, man, to its hero Ashki, but do not draw near. Draw near, man, to its lady Nintud, but do not draw near. Praise be to well-built Kesh, O Ashki. Praise be to cherished Kesh and Nintud. The 8th house.